This is Nick the Quick, and we're starting our season off. Of course, we always start off with my man Dave the Rave Scarpa. He does the high school shows, and of course, you've done a couple games already, right?
Yeah, we have a couple games under our belt, so we got a little bit of a head start this year on what's going on in the short conference.
Well, last year, basically, you only did about, what, 6 games with the COVID, or how'd they work that?
Yeah, it was a shortened season. During the regular season, we did, like you said, about 6 games, and then we had a couple of...
Did you have playoffs?
Short conference playoffs, because there was never any state playoffs. So
Okay.
It was just short conference playoffs. We had a great final with Wall and Donovan Catholic.
Okay. That score was like 3 points or something, wasn't it?
It was very close.
Donovan could have punched it in at the end, but what, they held him on the...
Like the last play of the game, they held him out of the end zone.
Then we did Wall, the Wall coach. He was #1 in the state. We did the kid who went to West Point. So,
yeah.
We got up there to do them. So what's it look like this year? Let's start getting on your putting your work.
Okay, let's see what I got for you this time. Like I was saying earlier, in 2 weeks, we've had 3 different #1s. We started out with Wall in the #1 spot. Then we went to Red Bank Catholic in the #1 spot, and now we're at Rumson now. We had Red Bank Catholic and Wall both in the #1 spot. Now we have Rumson in the #1 spot. So
Tell me about Rumson, because I know they give Wall a shellacking.
they gave Wall a shellacking. So Wall was ranked, like we said, #1 going into the season, and they came up against
Number 6 or 5 in the state.
Yeah,
Last year they were #1.
Right. Then they ran into a juggernaut with Rumson, and Rumson, shellacked them 35-0. First game of the season. Now we did hear that Wall has 2 of their best players out. One with MCL injury, one with a high ankle sprain, and I'll get into those names for you. Those guys that are out. So that did play a big part in Wall's troubles.
Tell me about Rumson, though. Give us what we got. They usually do a good passing game, don't they?
Yeah, I mean Rumson ended Wall's 20-game short conference winning streak, so that there's a lot to be said for that. Rumson defeated 2 excellent football teams in Wall and Donovan Catholic. They're led by linebacker John Lista, who's #1 first-team All-Short kid. Aiden Moriarty, second-team All-Short kid. Colin Kennedy, quarterback, he's a good one. Wide receiver Scott Venaccio, running back Jeff Schroeder, good offensive lineman in Charles Pearson, and a good linebacker in Ryan McKay. But they're as usual, they're loaded, and they have the ability with so many players to play kids one side of the ball. So you got 11 kids playing offense and theoretically 11 kids playing defense. Although some kids do go both ways, but it's such a bonus to be able to play kids just one way.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, Rave, is that that's a small school, isn't it, Rumson?
It's a little tiny Group 2, maybe just on the edge of Group 3 now, and they have like 90 kids in the program every year, and that's varsity program. I don't even know how many freshman kids.
So you think that town must have a great Pop Warner and all that, right? Isn't that like football's key?
Yeah. They bring them up, and it's a one Pop Warner program. They learn the system early, and a little group like that. I mean, this kids, got to be popping in and out from other towns. So, they do play. Some good get some good players on that team.
Wasn't that the Warren Wolf theory with the Pop Warner? Bring them up.
Oh, absolutely. You feed them through the Pop Warner system, and like you said, Warren Wolf was a guy who used to go to the Pop Warner guys and teach them, this is our offense, this is our defense, this is our nomenclature, and that's half the battle. They know when they get there as freshmen, they're already familiar with the you know what they do as a team.
Okay.
So yeah, big bonus to have that.
Are there still a lot of coaches around that Warren was their assistant or influenced these people?
Yeah, absolutely. Over the years, of course, some of those guys are now older and are out of football too. But there's still a lot of guys that came up through the brick ranks that they're still coaching.
Was Al Sainer with him? Do you know?
I think Al coached with them maybe for a few years, but he's been pretty much in a lot of different places after building a wonderful program in Point.
Yeah, because I was over the other day watching my grandson play at Point, but plays soccer, but you play on the Al Sainer field.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the same guy.
Yeah,
that was Al.
Yeah, that's Al Sainer.
It was the football guy, and
been around long.
Yeah, and didn't he go out to Allentown for a while? He jumped around.
He bounced around a lot, from school to school, What's his name? Versillo. Lou Versillo just got his 300th win.
Oh, he did?
This weekend, yeah.
With Lacey.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
300th win.
That's amazing. All right, let's go to your two-hole. Who you got in the two-hole?
Two-hole is RBC. They returned 11 returners on offense and 7 on defense. And what happened was, with the departure of Dan Mangerio of Mater Dei, what happened is many of the players transferred out because Mater Dei couldn't field a varsity program because the head coach left. So now they're down to just players playing JV programs. So a lot of the varsity players left Mater Dei and went to Red Bank Catholic. So it's been Red Bank Catholic's, luck to be and Mater Dei's.
Isn't there something though? If you don't have a football program, you could play for somebody else in Monmouth. Because I heard that's true or false.
That may be true, but we're talking about Catholic schools here. So now it's open season. You play where you want. So they got a lot of good transfers, including the quarterback Alex Brown, who's unbelievable. We saw him play. Real good quarterback. Running back Rajon Cooper, and a good offensive lineman in Ashton Majas. So real good team. They also returned, you remember this name, Alex Bauman. You remember the brother went to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, the big tight end.
Yeah. Now his brother was a first-team All-Stater last year as a junior.
Is he a tight end too?
Yes. He's a tight end, defensive end. Now I understand that he's being recruited more on the defensive side of the ball than as a tight end, as he's a good defensive end.
And he plays basketball. I saw him play in the OBM.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah, both of them. They were both in it.
Rangy kid, good athlete.
Yeah.
I'm sure he plays some basketball as well. First team All-State, first team All-Shore, Alex Bauman. Vince Carpenter, offensive lineman. Wide receiver, Najan Rahman. Third team All-Shore. And this name might be familiar to you, Sabino Portella. Portella, his father was the head football coach.
Yeah.
So he's a real good running back. Outside linebacker, running back Rajon Cooper, and wide receiver, we saw him play. He's a good one. Jadine Hayes. So these are their players besides getting the influx of Mater Dei players.
And Mater Dei is always good.
Absolutely. So that's gonna catapult those guys for quite some time. Number 3, Donovan Catholic. We had them higher, but they lost last.
How bad did Rumson beat them?
14. It was 14 nothing.
Oh, 14. No, that's not bad.
It wasn't bad. Yeah, Donovan Catholic gave them all they could handle. It was 7-0 most of the game. And then
Well, did Donovan Catholic, do they have a good offense or what? Were they usually good on the offensive end?
They're usually well coached on the offense.
Oh my God, they're Chippy. Chippy's there, right?
Yeah, they got little Chippy as the offensive coordinator, and he's just a great offensive mind. And they do have some good athletes. Here's another name that might bounce out at you, Nunez Bukala. You remember the Bukala kids from Pinelands?
Right.
Great athletes. This is one of their third generation Bukalas.
Okay.
He's their running back for Donovan Catholic. good athlete.
Didn't their big guard or something transfer up to Benedict's or one of them big power schools up north, didn't he?
McNair?
Yeah, the kid was going to go to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think there was two McNairs. The older brother, I think, went someplace big.
Bergen Catholic?
Bergen Catholic, one of them big schools up north.
So Karan McNair, second team All-Shore last year. He'll be an All-Stater, all likelihood. Aaron Crooms, Rob Madison, linebacker Connor Farrell, Nate Anello, Nico Ippolito, Levi Wilkins, and Jalen Butler. But very talented, returning a lot of returning players. So they'll go far.
So, will you see them beating the teams in Ocean County?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And they'll go far. They'll play. We're not. Next year they're talking about playing for an all-around overall state champion in each group. This year I think we're still in short conference playoffs, so they'll be fine in the short conference playoffs.
All right.
They went to second last year, right, in the wall game.
Yeah, sure.
Fourth place is Colts Neck. Colts Neck made a giant leap.
That had to be.
Last year 7-1, and they're back. Well-coached football team. Quarterback is this name might familiar? Tommy Fallon.
Sure.
Probably a round baller.
Yeah.
Tommy Fallon's third team All-Shore last year. John Manos, running back. Got three good offensive linemen. Matt Januzzi, Ryan Whalen, Dan Volpe, good linebacker, Anthony Bonanno, third team All-Shore, returning. Will Surdez, Delano Marcellus, and John Ruffolo. So real good returning group, and 7-1 last year.
Do you like to have a lot of veterans as a football coach?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They just plug them in and let them play. Returning starters are the key to your to having a good program the following year.
Okay.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, because you got a lot of guys in football. Now in basketball, is usually you don't get a lot of seniors in the starting lineup. Maybe you get two, and then you get a junior. You know what I mean? You try to splice it. Yeah, you go for a mix because you want to make sure that next year you have something.
Right.
You know?
Makes sense.
So 3 seniors would be a lot.
Right.
You try to mix it up.
Right. Well, even when you have returning starters, doesn't necessarily mean they're seniors. They could be returning starters that started as sophomores and now they're returning and starting again as juniors, which happens often as well. Number 5?
Number 5. Nothing yet. Well, yeah, Donovan's from Ocean County.
Yeah,
but they're usually, everything is Monmouth County.
Mostly Monmouth County team.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get to those guys in a bit. Right now, we're number 5, Middletown South. Good quarterback in Tom Shork. Good. We saw these guys play Middletown South against Manasquan. Good game, right to the end. Wide receiver Logan Colleran. Good running back in Dan Prumano. Two good wide receivers in Ryan St. Clair. And here's a name for you as a wide receiver. His name is Matt Grab.
Yeah.
Good name for a wide receiver.
Grab the ball.
Good name for a wide receiver.
There you go.
Grab.
He never misses. He grabs all the time. I got you.
Tight end Jack Latour and center Jake Williamson. But I love that name, Matt Grab. Wide receiver.
It's a good name.
Yeah, they're number 5. We saw them play good game against Manasquan 2 weeks ago. Manasquan was winning, and Middletown South. You just can't count those. I call him my stepson, but Rob Goodall is the principal at Manasquan. And did you ever? A pretty darn good nephew who played some pretty darn good football at East.
At East, but that's Pete's son.
Yeah.
Rob and Pete.
Gotcha.
And but Rob is now the principal at Manasquan. And do you know that when before the game, because I'm going to have Michelle on next, they bring the whole band and the fans into the stadium right down from the school.
Gotta love it.
Like Notre Dame, and then they bring
It's a great.
It's amazing,
I remember, when I coached at Donovan Catholic and we played Manasquan. You were like, oh my goodness,
It's amazing. What is this?
Even
Right
our
down.
players are like, oh, they're in awe.
It was Right out of school, they brought the students and brought them into the studio.
Good stuff. Good
Stadium.
stuff. Yeah, I love that, traditions like that, That's good. Number 6 was our ex number 1, it was Wall. And as we mentioned, they're suffering some major issues with injuries. So they went from number 1 down to number 6. They returned 10 of 11 defensive starters and 8 on offense. They're in the American Division II. Good receiver. Now listen to this group. Ready for this? Wide receiver Matt Doville, second team All-Shore. Tight end Blake Rezick, first team All-Shore. Offensive lineman Brian Byrne, second team All-Shore. Running back linebacker Colin Riley, first team All-Shore. Running back linebacker Charlie Sasso, first team All-State and first team All-Shore. Those are returning.
And they got beat 35-0.
Players.
Wait a minute, they got beat 35-0.
You can't make this stuff up. But they had Colin Riley and Charlie Sasso were both out.
Oh, the quarterback is Sasso. Right?
2 running backs and linebackers.
Okay.
Both of them
We're out.
Both of them were out.
And the one kid is in West Point now, the big star last year. We did them.
Yeah, they had a couple of really good ones. I can't think of them.
We had him on the show.
Yeah, good players.
He's probably starting too. Yeah.
Good players they had last year. They did graduate a couple of really good players, but look at all the kids that they have returning. Also have good receiver in Jackson Cohn. Good kicker Max Oakley. We were pretty impressed with him. So that's number 6. Number 7, Southern Regional. There's your Ocean County team.
And they are always tough.
Always tough.
But they don't score a lot of points.
Historically, they have been lack in offense.
Right.
Big, strong kids, good linemen, good defense, but they never had a lot of skilled players.
Okay.
Now they have this kid, Jaden Brown, first team All-Shore, unbelievable running back. I think he's the best running back in the Shore.
You do?
I do. Jaden Brown from.
You know who went from Southern is now playing with the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, the tight end.
Gozecki.
There's a couple of Shore players, Southern Regional players playing in the pros.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this guy, remember we had him in basketball? He dunked it like 6 times?
Good kid, too.
Yeah, big, 6'6".
More importantly, a good kid,
Yeah, positively.
Fine young man. Good kid. So, another good defensive end, Nate Committee. Third team All-Shore. Offensive lineman Sean Rowland. Quarterback Nolan Shoebigger.
Not Brab, huh?
Nolan.
Not Brab? Shoebigger?
Can't pronounce his name very well. It's not the first time I've had trouble pronouncing
Casey
that.
Larkin was the wall guy, remember?
Casey Larkin was the wall guy,
Larkin,
player of the year, All-State.
Oh my goodness!
At West Point, he's probably playing. We'll probably catch him against Navy.
Good player, good player. And Andy Falletta, good player for Southern Regional too. We're going to see them soon, right? A couple weeks.
Yes.
We have them on our schedule.
Well, see, Southern will probably then run through the East, Norths, and Souths, don't you think?
I don't think those are the typical.
I don't think they changed.
They don't play Big Four no more?
No,
They don't play in the.
They screwed up with the schedule's all different.
Oh, they're tiering it now?
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah, they play based more on, like hockey does, based more on how you did in the last couple of years.
The year before, so
now you move up.
You move up, okay.
Bad team moves down. They've done that in ice hockey for a long time, which I always thought was a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Give the other kids a chance to win.
Sure. Let the teams that aren't so good play other teams that aren't.
Because when you played brick in the old days, you know you were going to lose.
Yeah, and some team that had one win in the last 5 years got to go up against brick. It's not.
Yeah, it's 49-0.
It wasn't right. This is a much better system. I think.
Okay, I like it.
Number 8, Freehold Borough. Be careful with these guys. They might move up. They're a pretty good football team. Quarterback Kamor Gill, and defensive back, tight end linebacker Tyler Ojetsky, second team All-Shore. Good running back, defensive back, and Yasin Calhoun. Good athlete. Offensive lineman Mike in Cremona. Kamir Gill, good athlete. Alex D'Antonio and Matt Gaffredo. So Freehold Borough, I think, is a team on the rise.
All right.
Okay.
Because there's Township and Borough, but Borough's in the city part of it. They're the smaller school.
Yeah, but they get athletes, you know.
Oh, okay.
They get good athletes from the city kids, you know.
Yeah.
Freehold Township more of the rural outskirts, like you said.
Yeah.
Both of them got, you know.
Yeah, Freehold Township is
Yeah,
good
they
too.
have decent programs.
They get some big dudes.
Yeah, they're always got big offensive linemen. Kind of like Howell used to have. Howell used to have great offensive linemen and no skill positions for a long time. So, number 9, Raritan. 6-1 last season, and they're doing pretty well again this year. Quarterback Ben Hutchins, running back Kieran Falzone, slot back Joseph Campanella, wide receiver Robbie Scarola, good offensive lineman Jason Trotta, linebacker Alex Dekas, defensive back good player Cole Kozlowski. I think he might have transferred to Madison. I'm not quite sure. Right? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's where we're at with the number 9, 6-1 last year.
All right, these teams, they did good last year, some of these teams. Yeah. Hey, Raritan has always been a football school, though.
Yeah. They're up in
When I was in that league, Jackson, we played in basketball, was always that non-conference. But Raritan was always pretty good in football, yeah.
Yeah, they give you a game, though.
Yeah, always. They're good. It's a big school.
Yeah. And last but not least is Manasquan.
All right, I'm glad for that. I'll have to tell Bob before this runs.
Yeah, they're tough. I thought they were going to beat Middletown South, like right to the end. You know, they played them really, really tough. Manasquan quarterback Brett Patton, we got to see him play. Jamir Howard, running back. Good wide receiver and Rob Prendergast. Good lineman Rob Marks. Good place kicker Jack Dettinger. Linebacker Ryan Burns and defensive lineman J.J. Kavanaugh. So I was very impressed with Manasquan. We saw them 2 weeks ago. I thought they were going to beat Middletown South.
Okay.
Right
to the end, right?
Yeah, they had them beaten, and you can't count Middletown South out.
No.
They got the ball. You said whoever gets the ball last is going to win this game.
Okay.
And that's basically what happened. Middletown South got the ball.
Do they still have them good players like the kid that went to Penn State and was a real grader down south? That remember the running back?
Sean Moreno.
Yeah, Moreno. They still.
Oh, you can't find too many.
Sean Moreno's right.
No Sean Moreno's
Right.
around. But I remember interviewing him after one of the games. He had like 6 touchdowns, you know. So he came up to the booth and I'm talking to him and he had the Middletown South, though it has an S on the helmet. So I said to him, I think they ought to take the S off your helmet and put it on your shirt, because he was leaping over players and had 6 touchdowns.
Superman.
He had 6 touchdowns. I said, the S belongs on your shirt. He started laughing. You know?
Where did he went down south?
He went Georgia.
Georgia, okay. And then
For Georgia.
and he played with the pros a little bit, right?
Denver.
Broncos. Yeah,
Right.
played with
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. He played
With
with Peyton
Peyton?
Manning
Oh,
for a little bit. And then I thought he was still good to go, and I guess they figured he ran out of gas, and they finally cut him. I don't have a write-up on the number 11, but I'm kind of feeling that Manalapan might be filling in that number, just underneath the
right.
rest of those guys.
Nobody else in Ocean County, though, huh?
Sorry to say.
North, south,
You
east,
got Southern, no.
southern, and Donovan.
Southern and Donovan, the only Ocean County
Okay.
teams right now we have in the top 10. So,
All right,
yeah,
great
it's
list.
few and far between.
Yeah, well, but you always, you come through your great list now, but I'm going to give you a chance to expound on your Rutgers team, man. How are they 2-0, man?
I'm loving it. Of course, they still got to play all the good teams yet. Still got to play Ohio State,
Syracuse had to be good.
Michigan.
That was a road win there.
Syracuse was no slouch.
No, that was a good road win, right?
Good, yeah, absolutely. Oh, especially on the road.
What is the deal? Does Shiano get a lot of Jersey kids?
Shiano is definitely making progress. He's bringing in lots of Jersey kids. He's doing a great job recruiting outside of Jersey. It's all about recruiting on that level, and they're doing an outstanding job of recruiting. And this is just the beginning. Wait another couple years when all those kids that he's been recruiting get on the field. They got a lot of red shirt kids right now.
They do?
Oh yeah, they're gonna.
What's this rule? You can just jump in and play? What's the rule now? People jump in schools and play it.
A transfer.
Yeah, transfer rule. So like the kid from Rutgers went to Illinois. He's the quarterback, and now,
Usually, if you graduate.
Yeah, graduate
you don't
kids.
have to wait a year.
Graduate kids.
Oh, graduate
Yeah,
kids.
they're grad students.
Okay, because in the old days,
Yeah.
when we played, you had to sit out a year,
Right. But,
or you were done.
right. But now you got kids who do their 4 years. They still have a year of eligibility. They're now going to a different school for grad school, and now they can play in the new school.
And that's that'd be a fifth year.
That'll be their 5th year.
I like that. I like
Nothing wrong with that.
you just don't like to sit on a bench. Nobody
A
does.
lot of kids don't go to grad school the same place they got their undergrad degree.
And you don't make the pros, so it gives you another year.
Yeah, give you.
Another year to look. And
Absolutely.
actually, I really like that rule, but I'm so confused at how many guys are playing here and they're playing here. There's guys with that team,
Yeah, I know.
When you hear
He's jumping ship.
yeah, the guy said,
all over.
well, he was on Notre Dame last year. Now he tackled the guy from Notre Dame and sprained his ankle.
Yeah, because
I mean, it was,
I guess because, like you said, because he's now a grad student.
as I always ask you, great job as usual. Give me a feeling who's going to finish number one.
Well, the way it looks right now, I don't see anybody that can beat Rumson. I don't see it right now.
All right.
So,
Great job, Dave DeRave, and good luck in your season with the guys. Remember, kids, just don't go out and watch a game on television or watch it in the stands. Participate. Stay off the alcohol and drugs, and in this county, you got to be very careful of heroin. So, Nick the Quick signing off. See you next week.